Hey everyone, Crosser here. So I'm just going to be giving a in-depth explanation of how Ookless works. Ookless is a trick in any category where we fight Diababa in Twilight Princess speedrunning, and I just want to make a video that basically has a collective knowledge of the community over the years to make the trick more consistent. The way at least I know on ZSR, it talks about a walking back to the left method in phase 2, which I'll get to later. The only thing with that method I find is that it gives you the opportunity to have some bad RNG potentially occur, which I will talk about later in the video when I get to phase 2. So let's just jump right into it. Phase 1 is always the same. I'm going to talk about phase 1 first, and I'm just going to use this video here first. There's multiple methods that I'm going to show for the whole trick, but phase 1 is the same throughout all of them. So there's two types of targets I'm going to talk about in this video. There is a normal target, which is pulling out the rang and actually using R to target, and then there's just an L target. We all know what L targeting is, but in the context of this video, L targeting with the rang will just target the closest possible thing I can with so you can see the arrows kind of over top of this bombling's head right here. It's going to target the closest possible thing I can. If I untarget and retarget, it's going to target the next closest possible thing that it can. So, how you're going to start this trick off every time, just going to back it up a bit. Target this first bombling normally, and then normal target the Deku on the right, because we need to kill the two Deku to get into phase 2. And what we're going to do is we're going to get another two bombs and store them at the bomblings and store them at the center of the stage here, so that we can actually do Ookless. The stage, by the way, basically I refer to as the area where you're not in the poison water. So yeah, phase 1, normal target the middle bombling into the left Deku and then go towards the center of the stage. But don't go in the poison water. So coming out of here now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to normal target the bombling on the left, and then I'm going to L target while holding the rang to target the bombling in the center here. Now, once this bombling with the rang reaches this one, I'm going to retarget. So while the rang was thrown, you saw me untarget and retarget to target this Deku Now that this bombling has been hit with the rang and is not targetable, the next closest target is this bombling, and I want to be targeting this one, so I'm going to untarget and retarget. So now that I've untargeted and retargeted, I'm just going to wait until the bombs reach Link. One's going to drop to his side, and he's going to catch the other. When he catches the other, I'm going to pull out the rang while still holding target. That's going to target this bombling, and then I'm going to untarget and retarget to target the Deku That way, when I release the rang, it's going to do the second damage proc I need to do to go on to phase 2. While I'm doing this sequence of targeting here, you see me move to the right. The reason I do that is so that the rang doesn't pick up the two bombs I'm storing in the center to do Ookless. And then you basically are now just waiting for phase 2. So, this is where the variations come in. From basically the end of this cutscene to before I'm waiting for the bombs to come back to me and catch them, this is where the variations come in with the movement options you can do. The whole purpose of these variations is basically I'm giving an oot setup. There's multiple different ways to go about doing it. They're all going to work. I'm going to say what I use the most and find consistent, but any of these is technically going to work. You might find something better that works for you too, but this is at least going to be 3 different ways that I know it works. So, basically, Diababa is going to spawn now. And the reason I don't want to do this back walk to the left method I was talking about is it requires precise positioning. And if the positioning's not right, this Deku on the left will try to attack me. And if it eats the bomb, I lose the bomb. And then the whole trick's pointless because I have to wait for Ook. So, what I'm going to do versus that is I'm going to, right out of this cutscene, I'm going to hold target and down, as you can already see me doing on the input viewer. And I'm going to throw the boomerang. Now, this is the first movement type setup I'm going to say to do. So, when a boomerang is heading towards a target you are targeting in this game, when it's heading towards it, if you try to backflip, Link will do a back hop. Once the boomerang reaches the target, Link will then do a backflip if you do that input. So pay close attention to when I do the back hop where the rang is, and then when I do the backflip where the rang is. So, for this method, what you're going to do, like I said, just keep holding down, holding back, throw the rang, back hop, back flip, let go of everything except for target. Keep holding target. and now I'm in position. So, like I said, the whole point of this is now I'm in a position where this Diababa and this Diababa are not going to attack me, and all I have to worry about now is doing the rest of the trick. So, once the bombs get to me, I'm going to hold one again like I did in phase 1, and one's going to drop to my side. I'm going to press A to throw the one in front of me, and I'm still holding target throughout all this, and then I'm going to do one backflip, and then that's when I'm finally going to release target. And this sequence right here, like I said, once I catch the bomb, throw, backflip, it's the same in all the methods. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull out the boomerang and I'm going to normal target this bomb that's underneath Link's left arm, and then I'm going to L target, which will snap onto Diababa, and I'm going to let go of the ring. Now, that's going to take this bomb up to hit Diababa, and the bottom part of the gale wind is going to catch the second bomb, and then it's not going to hit Diababa, and it's going to come back to me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to look to the right, but first, small optimization. You don't have to do this, you can just stand still. If you move forward, the bomb's going to get back to you quicker to do the next part. Don't go forward too far, because if you do, on its way back, it could hit the center of the stage, and then on the ground, and then you lose the trick. I typically just position myself between this plank and this plank right here. I don't like to go forward any further, but that's about it, and then yeah. So it makes contact. Diababa's coming down. Now I'm going to see up and look to the right. You can look to the left, but the room goes out further to the right, so you have less of a chance of the bomb coming back and hitting you. So, or hitting Diababa and then you lose it, or you making contact with the bomb during a damage phase. So, once the Rang is back to me, I'm now just going to chuck the Rang again, and it's going to take the bomb out, and I'm going to go do damage phase 1. So, for damage phase 1, there's multiple different ways you can damage Diababa. I wouldn't recommend doing a 4-hit combo, because like I said, the bomb can make contact with Diababa, or you could hit the bomb, and you don't want that. Don't do ending blow on this phase 2, because it takes too long. You can do ending blow on the next phase if you want. In general, I would just avoid doing it altogether, because it's slower. So, here's the 3 ways you can go about doing it. You can jump attack onto the eye, you can roll stab into the eye, or you can do a spin attack. I find the roll stab the quickest way to get into doing it, and I will do that later. I don't do that in this method, but nonetheless, you can. So for damage phase 1, jump attack, roll spin, or spin attack. Sorry, roll stab or spin attack. Now, the bomb's going to come back to me. While it's coming back to me, I'm just going to see up. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw the Rang. Now, quick disclaimer, I'm not saying that this is how this works. I find if you target Diababa here by locking on normally or hitting L for some reason, Diababa normally gets immunity to it. I don't know why, but nonetheless, I just usually throw the Rang and it makes contact. And then Diababa is going to come back down, and I'm going to do the second damage cycle. So I'm going to get into this a little bit later when I show my method about why I do the roll stab too. So I find the earliest you can throw the boomerang is when Diababa's head is on the swing down like that. And if you throw it, it will make contact. If you throw it earlier, it'll potentially give her immunity frames, and then you have to throw it again. It's not a big deal. Don't panic. I'm going to show that later. So either way, it goes up, makes contact, Diababa falls down, and you're going to do the damage, and that's the end of the fight. So, like I said, I did ending blow. I would never recommend doing it personally, though. The next, just real quick to show the don't panic method. So as you can see here, I miss because I threw too early, and then I just don't panic. I just throw again. It makes contact, and now I'm just going to do the damage, and the phase is ended. So, next little movement optimization. This is the Glubber's way. Glubber's was helping me mess around with the trick, and we were finding ways to make it more consistent. This is the way Glubber's likes to do it. I don't like this method because I find it puts me too far back in the room, and for some reason I find when I'm too far back in the room, sometimes the bombs will just explode on the ground, or both of them will explode on impact with Diababa. Nonetheless, it does work if you, again, I just find it a bit more precise. Glubber's uses this method and got really consistent with it. So, the only difference here is instead of doing a back hop, Glubber's keeps holding down until the Rang makes contact with Diababa and then does 2 backflips. And that's it. Now you're doing the same things as you did before. So target, hit it, look to the right. We get it from here. We know what's going on. So, on to my method. My method is a bit different from Glubber's. Like I said, I don't like getting far back into the room. Glubber's developed his method off of my method. So, what I do, the only difference, I pause. I hold L and down, and then I'm gonna throw the Rang right out of this cutscene, and you're literally gonna see me let go of everything except for target. Then, once the Rang makes contact with Diababa, I'm now gonna do my 2 backflips. This just puts me in a position that I know works constantly, and I'm gonna go for the trick, and then we're fine. So now, like I said, I do what I find the most optimal way of damaging Diababa here. In phase 1, I do a roll stab. The reason I do the roll stab is I was talking earlier about the earliest possible frame you can throw the second bomb up to Diababa, and I find a roll stab gets you in position. It gets you close. It gets you to Diababa quick and gets the damage off as quick as possible, so that Diababa starts going back up, and you can get yourself in position to throw the Rang. And then I throw the Rang, the head's down, I know it's going to make contact no matter what, and I'm in a spin attack, and that's the end of the fight. That's all there is to it. So, that's pretty much everything to go over. I hope this video helped everyone. I want to thank D3 Delighted for telling me that this method even existed in the first place, the backflip method, because that was what was making this trick just hard for me to get down consistently. Was, like I said, the Dekubaba on the left kept eating my bomb, and then just I couldn't do the trick. I want to thank Glubbers for helping me test stuff out and get this trick down consistently. Adam's PB video for just in general teaching me the trick. And SVA, he does this method in his run. I think I mentioned this earlier in the video. He does this method in his run. I just don't think anyone had documented how this version of Ookless was done. And he also, I took the roll stab straight up from him. I just noticed that he got in position to throw the Rang so much quicker. So, but yeah, that's all. And I hope everyone finds this video informative and it helps you guys learn Ookless. And yeah, that's all. Thanks.